National Institutes of Health, which last year proposed to amend their mission statement to exclude the word disability, saying it, quote, could be interpreted as perpetuating ableist beliefs that disabled people are flawed and need to be fixed. Let me take this moment to go on record. Folks, if I am ever struck blind or deaf or paralyzed, don't praise me. Fix me. The woke think the number one job is to protect homeless people from stigma. I think the number one job is to protect them from... Adele lost weight. She was excoriated for betrayal. To who? She betrayed the unhealthy?
The left is outraged once again. And guess who they've decided to target this time? People who are actually trying to solve the problems holding society back. That's right. In the eyes of the far left, only they are allowed to do good or offer solutions. Anyone else is labeled a fraud or a hypocrite seeking attention and praise. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? I certainly think so, and so does Maher. The outspoken comedian tore into the far left's performative outrage, and honestly, it was comedy at its finest. Grab some popcorn because he didn't hold anything back. Let's get into it.
Reporter tweeted, what truly needs curing is society's view of disabled people, and BuzzFeed agreed Mr. Beast seems to regard disability as something that needs to be solved. Okay, disability is something that needs to be solved. And what truly needs curing is blindness. Here's how I know this. The newly sighted people are cheering, not booing, because Mr. Beast, whoever the that is, just cured them and you didn't do. You know the expression or go blind? You didn't either.
Maher wastes no time getting to the point. No hesitation, no introduction. He immediately calls out a pattern that many people have noticed. The far left often does very little to help others, yet the moment someone else takes action, they rush to criticize and cancel them. Their latest complaint is that people shouldn't film charitable acts and post them online. But Maher responds with a simple question. Where do they think the money for these projects comes from? The answer is YouTube. Sharing the videos isn't just about attention, it's what funds the generosity in the first place. And here's the irony. If someone had all the money in the world and chose not to help, the same critics would attack them for that too. It's a no-win situation because their outrage isn't really about morality. It's about control. You can't satisfy people who are determined to be offended.
They love nothing more than being a victim, except when they really are one, and then they tell you, I am not, go f*** yourself. Get this. Last month, Mr. Beast, in another dick move, funded the construction of 100 wells across 5 countries in Africa to provide clean drinking water to 500,000 people. Good thing, right? No. Not good, bad. The founder of a charity called Face Africa called it kind of frustrating that overnight this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. Yes, but you know what else is frustrating? Dying of thirst.
This is exactly the issue. The woke left seems permanently offended and impossible to satisfy. Mr. Beast's humanitarian efforts in Africa should be celebrated by everyone. Yet somehow an NGO is upset because they feel he's taking attention away from them. Seriously? If someone is helping provide clean water, improve infrastructure, and change lives, wouldn't it make sense to work together and increase the impact? Instead, their response reveals something less admirable. They don't want Mr. Beast involved because his popularity shifts the spotlight. And when the spotlight moves, funding often follows. If funding decreases, so does their influence and control. Their criticism isn't really about ethics or effectiveness. It's about losing attention and control over the conversation.
How dare he come in and bogart digging the wells? That's so white guy. Always taking fresh water and shoving it down our throats. Oh, another thing this asshole did in Africa was pay for the rebuilding of an African orphanage, which the director of the Hope and Homes for Children charity called it a classic case of white saviorism. So true. Ask any orphan to name the worst part of their life. Show-offs!
The more you think about it, the more surprising it becomes. Society's challenges were never going to be solved by governments alone or by self-appointed activists on the far left. Real progress has always depended on people stepping up and doing their part. That's exactly what Mr. Beast is doing. His work in Africa is not some exaggerated example of white saviorism, as critics often claim. It's a response to genuine needs that many governments have failed to address for decades. Clean water, infrastructure, and basic necessities are not political talking points. They are essential human needs. When someone helps provide those things, the focus should be on the lives improved rather than endless speculation about motives. Mr. Beast isn't undermining anyone. He's addressing problems that should have been solved long ago.
How did we get to this weird place? Telling people who are actually out in the world making a positive difference, you're the problem. Yeah, quick question, who the are you? And this isn't only the media and the people on Twitter who exist to bitch, always finding something. He just did it for the clicks, or for the wrong reason, or he should have done more, or sooner, whatever. You signed X. No.
Maher's comments hit hard. They are sharp, direct, and difficult to dismiss. And honestly, he makes a valid point. Who are these far-left critics that believe they have the authority to judge everyone else's intentions? It's almost comical. They often contribute very little themselves, yet they are quick to criticize anyone who does. No matter how sincere the effort, they search relentlessly for something negative to say, as though criticism is their primary occupation. In their view, every act of kindness must have a hidden agenda. Unless, of course, it comes from their side. Then it suddenly becomes noble and unquestionable. Maher highlights this double standard perfectly. His message is straightforward. Genuine good should be recognized regardless of who is doing it.
National Institutes of Health, which last year proposed to amend their mission statement to exclude the word disability, saying it, quote, could be interpreted as perpetuating ableist beliefs that disabled people are flawed and need to be fixed. Let me take this moment to go on record. Folks, if I am ever struck blind or deaf or paralyzed, don't praise me. Fix me. Don't sit around talking about how much I'm just as good as you. Fix me. Do something. Use AI. Invent something.
Maher is right, and he doesn't shy away from saying it. People with disabilities don't need empty speeches, trendy hashtags, or symbolic gestures that celebrate them while leaving their real challenges untouched. What they truly need is meaningful support, healthcare, accessibility, opportunities, and practical tools that help them participate fully in society. Maher argues that helping people improve their circumstances is not offensive. It's compassionate. Yet somehow, the Outrage crowd manages to portray genuine assistance as an attack on identity. It's a strange and unreasonable position. Real compassion is not simply about offering praise. It's about removing obstacles and creating opportunities so people can succeed, grow, and enjoy the same freedoms as everyone.
There's so much faking this time of year between the presents you don't want to buy and the presents you didn't want to get and the goodwill toward men that lasts until January 2nd. I just don't have room for, and disability is awesome. It's not awesome. And it's not a political affiliation. That's the problem. We turn everything into a political identity category. You're deaf. That's your identity. Don't mess up a good thing by hearing.
Maher's point is clear. To Today, nearly everything has become politicized, including disability. It seems that nothing can simply exist on its own anymore. Every issue is pushed into a political framework or cultural category. And this trend didn't emerge by accident. According to Maher, it gained momentum on the left, where every issue and every group became tied to a specific identity. New labels were created for everything: homelessness, illness, immigration status, and more. Very little was allowed to remain neutral or be viewed outside the lens of identity politics.